Hi, my name's Clementine. Um, I'm 33 years old and I've got a 3-day notice. Um, and they are not willing to work with me. And I do not have the full balance of rent money. So that leads to somewhere, right? Um, so I've decided to make this like an experiment. So I have complex post-traumatic stress disorder. If you've been following me for a while, you know, you know my story, and I know who knows me knows me. But there's been more eyes on me as of recently, and I haven't been talking as much, so it's been mostly like my dance videos, and this page is my diary. I guess I can talk about myself a little bit. I'm 33 years old. I live in a very small town. It's the town that I went to high school in. And I had a lot of trauma growing up. That's not like who I am, but I feel like it's important because it's about my page, my diary. But I've had a lot of trauma. I grew up with a lot of trauma, psychological, emotional, sexual abuse, all that stuff. But I've had a rough life. Sometimes I forget, like, when I say things that have happened to me or things that I've experienced, I oftentimes forget that, like, if somebody else was telling me the stories that I tell, or things that I've experienced, right, I would be like, wow, taken aback. But when it's you who's gone through it, you're kind of like, ah, ha, 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 and you just like laugh it off, and it doesn't feel as real. So it's because we learn how to dehumanize ourselves, right? Like, we learn how to dehumanize ourselves and disassociate completely from our body. Like, I would say most of us who are living, especially in America, but we are disassociated from our bodies, from our truth and our essence. So disassociated it. We're like robots, like, like everyone about the AI and stuff like that. But like in reality, like, we're all like robots. Like, unless you open up yourself and decide to like go against the matrix, like, you're operating. I was thinking about this, right? Like, I'm going off on a tangent, but I was thinking about things, right? And I was thinking about, like, when you're in a relationship and like you have all these things you want to say, but you don't say them, and you keep them to yourself, right? Like, you keep these little secrets. Like, you start hiding bits and things, and then there's things that like you don't want to tell your partner, so you start hiding bits and pieces of yourself, right? Which is like, our relationships are our mirrors. Whatever we're experiencing in a relationship is kind of what is kind of like we're kind of doing it to ourselves, honestly. Like, the patterns and the relationships and the things that we get into and the friendships that we experience, right? We're putting ourselves in those positions, and that's kind of a hard truth to look at, right? Because then I had to look at it like this, right? Most of my sexual experiences, right, were non-consensual in some way or not, even if I didn't fully understand, right? So something I had to come to terms with was how I myself was putting myself in these positions to be taken advantage of. Because I, at the time, didn't know any better, and I didn't realize it, but I myself was putting myself in danger. Like, I was thinking about when I would go on dates, and when I would tell my friends about like the dates I'd gone on and stuff, they'd say like, I can't believe you went to his house, and I can't believe you did this. Like, if I was on a date and somebody invited me over to their house, I didn't even think about saying no. I literally didn't. I didn't even think about saying no. I didn't really know that was an option. I didn't know how to speak or like have my own thing. Like oftentimes I needed other people to help advocate for myself. I could advocate for others. Like if you were like, when I was in high school, like if you were bullying my friend, I would like degrade you like really harshly and like really get into your psyche and be really rude about it. But like if you were bullying me, I didn't care. Like I might cry and like have my feelings hurt, but like it was like whatever, like I could handle it, you know. But I think that's trauma, you know. But anyways, I had to look at like how I was putting myself in these positions, how I was putting myself in these relationships, how I was putting myself in these friendships, how I was putting myself in to all of the places that I was. I wasn't happy with the amount of pay I was getting paid at my job, but I still stayed. I wasn't trying to do anything different. I wasn't saying like, hey, can you pay me more? I wasn't doing what needed to be done to be paid more, right? And so like we just kind of sit in places that we're unhappy in because we don't think that we have choices, and because we're traumatized. A lot of us are so traumatized from such young ages that we forget that we have choices. Even if we go along with life and we make choices, I didn't really realize up until this last year what a choice really is, and I still am moving through this, knowing I have choices. I was just standing in my backyard and I was thinking, like, I can go see my lover whenever I want to go and see him, right? I can go and see him whenever I want, but why do I have this invisible barrier that says I must have the house clean first, and I must have this in order first before I go? He's 3 hours away. It's just 3 hours away. My car doesn't work, so I'd have to take a train, and the train is like a couple of hours away. It's like 3 to 5 hours. Why don't I get on the train? Because in my brain I have this wall up that says like I must have the house clean. I must have this. There's a 3-day notice that's lingering in the air. And although it takes a while and I can do these things, right, to get my mail over at his house or to go through the process, right, my body isn't used to having like safety, and so I'm teaching myself safety. Anyways, I was reflecting on relationships and how this relationship I'm in now is so completely different than like any relationship I've been in, or even any friendship. Like he also like sees me and knows me before I say anything. Like he can feel me before like I even tell him how I feel. Like he just lets me arise to it, and he didn't have a lot of patience in the beginning, but he's learned me and I've learned him more, and now he has more patience, and like it's a really beautiful relationship. Like it's a really honest relationship, and like we both come to terms with like what we need to come to terms with, and like take accountability, like which is changed action and like learning and growing. And we both have patience and grace. Like there are things I could see in him before that like he had to, like when you're a reader and you know things too, right, you have to like know what to say, know what needs to be taught to other people, you know. Hold on, my sister's coming home. Okay, I don't remember anything I was saying at all except for the main point of the video. I like went and did a bunch of things. Anyways, my main point of the video, I know I went off on like a bunch of different tangents, but anyways, basically I've got a 3-day notice, right? And I'm not getting a job, I'm not rejoining the Matrix, right? And I have the belief that just me existing, just me breathing will bring me abundance, as long as I listen to my intuition, as long as I listen to my instinct and take the aligned action, whatever I'm called to do, whether it's called to paint or to post or to go on a walk or to go to the store, like whatever is that. And like right now I'm focusing on nourishing myself, right? So all I can do is work with what I have, and I'm making it this manifestation experiment, right? So it's like I'm doing 40 days of subliminals. Like I made a subliminal playlist, and I'm doing all of these other things too. I'm practicing all these other different techniques, and when I get like fixated on things, like I like to do things like this and it's like fun to me. So I was like, I might as well take this experience and like just really see what happens. Like what happens if I just actually just free fall and just like continue living and working on like learning how to nourish myself and being grateful that I still have this home while I still have it, and just allowing whatever is like meant to fall into place next to fall into place next, you know? And so it's like the ultimate experience, right? Because I mean, what, I'm wrong and the world isn't magic and we don't create reality and the Matrix isn't real and magic, whatever, right? Say that is what event is what happens. Like, let's say that's what happens, but like, then what? I just get a job. I just work from wherever I'm at, right? It's not like I haven't had to rebuild myself over and over and over again. So it's completely possible, and it would be completely easy to do, to just go and get a job. Psychologically taxing, emotionally, energy-wise taxing, right? But I can do it at any point. I can rejoin the Matrix, right? But I have the opportunity to prove that, like, to myself even, that like life is magic and that I can really achieve anything that I want to achieve, and I can really do anything that I want to do that's for the betterment of myself, and that I do have a purpose, and that like everything I've been doing and drawn to is for a reason, and that this world is magic, and that we possess magic in our hands, and we don't have to live in the world the way that the world has been created. It's failing all around us, and we can take control. And we think that we don't have choices, and we do have choices, and we can change things, but we all have to do it together, right? So it's like I have this opportunity to like see how far manifestation can take me when I'm like seemingly at the lowest wise, right? Like 3-day notice, no income, blah 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 blah, right? Seemingly no income, facts, logic, right? That's where I'm at logically. That's not where I'm at mentally, and I don't really accept that into my reality. But anyways, it's like I can show myself like how much I can accomplish and achieve, and like learn about myself, and like why do I need to worry when everything is out of my hands right now and I already know what I'm doing and what I'm meant to do, right? And so what if I just do it? Like, what if I just do it and stop worrying about it, taking up so much mental space, like worrying about this or that? Like, just do what needs to be done as it comes. I'm not saying just like lay around and think that like magic happens. That's not what happens. Yes, Cosmo? But what I'm saying is like just literally listening to your intuition and listening to instincts. So that's what I'm going to do. So that's what my experiment is and how I'm proceeding, right? Everything works out in my favor. Can I live by everything that I believe, like truly, like especially like when it's down to the wire, right? It's down to the wire. And it's like, what will happen? I think that's beautiful. Like I try to go to sleep every night, even when my mind is like trying to take me, like it's like I read something earlier that says like our subconscious mind, is made for safety and consistency. And so if we've been living in unsafe environments and chaos, that is our consistency. That's what we feel safe in, right? And so when we're making this new reality for us, our body doesn't feel safe. So our old identities are clawing and, trying to bring us back down and bring us back down. But that means that we're at the threshold. That means we're developing a new safety. And each step we take, we develop more safety. Like every time I start having panic and I remember to do my breaths and I remember to go outside, I remember to go on a walk and I do my subliminals and I dance, I'm showing my body that my body can trust me and the decisions that I make, right? In that I'm safe. And so I'm building more safety with myself, because I was thinking about this the other day and brought it up to my sister about like how even like me trying to have like attempts, like I had attempts last January actually to like end me But yeah, but I was talking to my sister the other day, and I said, you know, like, I put trauma into my own body, right? So the thing is like, if I'm betraying myself in that moment, I'm betraying myself and I'm abandoning myself. So I'm doing psychological damage to myself, and then I'm trying to physically harm myself. And so I'm putting trauma into myself, into my body, that doesn't create safety. Does that make sense? I was thinking about this the other day really deeply, because I was like, you know, like, even when I used to self-harm, I did all these things, or like the betrayal of like just doing things against, like, doing things even though I say no, or let it, you know what I mean? Just like going against my body, even just so many different ways we betray ourselves every day, and we're trained to fit into these systems to self-betray and self-abandon, right? But anyways, so it's gone. But yeah, that's my experiment, and I'm excited about it. And this page is like my diary page, and I don't know when or how I'll check in with it. I'm just going to go with my intuition, see whatever flows, and see what happens. But I feel like my diary, right, is where I show myself. So we'll see, and I'm excited. And if you watch this whole video, and if you're going to come with me, then, like, let's do this, you know, like, let's show ourselves that, like, we can trust ourselves, we can trust our bodies, we can trust our decisions, we are safe to have abundance, and we are safe to have the life we want, and to travel, and to have everything we want, right? That we can fight through the conditioning and the matrix and all of that stuff, right? So, like, 40 days, that is my experiment for 40 days. I've already been tracking in my notebook, like, my progress on certain things I'm tracking, and like my writing, and just like the different techniques that I'm using in my notebook. So I'm tracking all of this. And then I was thinking, like, at the end of it, I would do something with that, like share it or something. But yeah, I'm excited. Like, universe, let's see how magical and like, let's see how much life can get, you know, like, let's see how magical life can get, and how beautiful life can get, and how much I can achieve, and how far I can go, and like how much I can nourish myself and show up for myself and be consistent. And yeah, so I'll be sharing that in some type of way. But yeah, so thanks for hanging out with me. I don't remember everything I said on here, so yeah, okay, bye. I haven't said this for a while, but eternally mine, eternally thine, eternally Clementine. I love you.